Hey guys, it's Ted with HDpiano. Here's the intro and first verse to Made of Stone by Matt Corby. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you have it, the intro and first verse. For the other parts to this song, make sure you go to hdpiano.com if you're not already there. So we're in the key of B natural minor for this song, which looks the same as D major. 2 sharps. And I'm going to start by showing you the shapes that we're moving through with both our hands. The sets of notes we're going to use, and then we're going to learn this arpeggio pattern that he's playing. So we start on a B minor shape over D. Then we move to this interesting chord shape here. It's E, C sharp, D, F sharp. Really cool sound. We've essentially taken that B minor over D shape and just moved up these bottom 2 notes. Kind of a suspended sound, or like an E minor 9 sound. And then we play this, which is G major 7. And we stay there for 2 measures. And when we're over the G, one thing to note is that our thumb is going to move down to A briefly sometimes. So there are our shapes. Now, what's tricky about this is this arpeggio that we're playing. And the basic form of the arpeggio is, I'll start on the second measure to show it to you, because we don't start it in full right away. But on the second measure, you can hear how it goes. It goes. So we're alternating notes with our thumb. One quick interesting thing to note here. When I was transcribing this song from the recording, my first attempt at playing this was actually to use my left-hand thumb for that part. So that would sound like this. And I actually think that's easier to do physically. I'm teaching it this way because I went and looked at a performance of Matt Corby playing it, and he does it all in his right hand. So I figured it might be a little more faithful that way, but if you're having a lot of trouble doing this all in your right hand, it was kind of tricky for me at first. If you're having trouble with it, you might want to try it with the left hand, taking that thumb note. Because then you end up with this pattern where you're just alternating notes between your right and left hand, and it might be a little easier physically. It doesn't mean you have to do a big reach here over the G chord. So I'm not going to go into that too deep, but it's an idea for you if you find this verse section really hard. All right, so moving ahead with doing it all in the right hand. Our basic pattern is thumb, up, thumb, higher, and then up again. And the way we're counting this is the big division is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's then divided into 3. So it's like 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E, like this. 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E, a 1E, a 2, 3, 4. Now check out what happens over the G. This is where we get that alternating thumb note. We start on B, 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E, then we do that again. And that's our whole phrase. So right at the top of the song, you might ease into it. The way he does, he leaves out that first D. He goes. All right, but other than that, we have a repeated pattern here. It's going to help a lot to use your sustain pedal. I'm changing that whenever my left-hand note changes, halfway through the bar. Change, 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 at that pace. And let's check out the very end of the verse section here. So halfway through the 4-bar phrase, we're going to go to these sustain chords. Sounds like this. Right here to a B minor, and then a D over A, and then a G sharp half diminished. That's this chord. Looks a lot like a G major 7, but you got G sharp in the bass. And then you roll this G major. And that's it. That's our intro and first verse to this tune. One little piece of advice that you might think about, I'm really listening for the melody, and I'm trying to think of a longer phrase in my right hand to help this arpeggio motion happen. Otherwise, it can seem like a lot of notes. So for example, over the G major 7, I'm really listening for this melody. And that helps me guide my thumb to the right place. You can listen in there for that internal melody. Anyway, this is the sort of thing where you're going to want to practice it slow, build up speed, and then kind of relax and let your fingers do what they're going to do without trying to think about it too much consciously. Otherwise, you'll get all tangled up in your fingers. All right, really fun piano part in this song to work on, and I hope you have fun working on it. I'm Ted with HDpiano, and I'll see you in our next lesson section on the chorus.